Gentlemen, let's have a frank conversation. What if I told you that the most important prescription for vitality, for confidence, for that spark of youth you might feel is fading isn't found in a little blue pill, but on the end of your fork? That the cornerstone of virility and vigor after 60 is being sabotaged or supported every single morning before you even walk out the door? I'm not talking about magic. I'm talking about microcirculation, the vital, delicate flow of blood to every tiny capillary in your body, especially to tissues that profoundly define your quality of life. Today, we cut through the noise and focus on one single, powerful, delicious action you can take: the one thing: nitrate-rich leafy greens. Forget a mysterious berry from a remote jungle. This is humble, potent, and probably already in your supermarket. We're talking about spinach, arugula, kale, Swiss chard, and beetroot leaves. Consumed in the morning, they become your daily biological tune-up. Let's pull back the curtain on the precise, elegant biochemistry that makes this so powerful. It begins with the humble nitrate molecule abundant in these leafy greens, which is often misunderstood. We've been conditioned to fear the word nitrate because of its association with processed meats, but in the plant kingdom, nitrates are a benevolent precursor, a raw material waiting to be transformed by your own body into a masterpiece of vascular engineering. This transformation follows a specific three-stage pathway that is as reliable as it is profound. First, you consume the nitrate-rich greens. As you chew, the nitrates are released and mix with your saliva. This is where phase 1 begins. The salivary glands actively concentrate these nitrates, but the real magic happens thanks to a unique symbiotic relationship with commensal bacteria, particular strains that live on the surface of your tongue. These bacteria perform the first crucial conversion, reducing the dietary nitrate to nitrite. This is why the method of consumption matters. Blending or juicing preserves this potential, but using a strong antibacterial mouthwash can tragically wipe out this essential microbial workforce, short-circuiting the entire process before it even begins. Once swallowed, this nitrite-rich bolus travels to the acidic environment of the stomach, where a small portion can convert directly to nitric oxide, contributing to gastric health. But the majority of the nitrite is absorbed into the bloodstream through the gut. Now, phase 2 commences in your circulation. Here, nitrite is no longer an inert compound. It becomes a stable reservoir, a circulating pool of potential waiting for a signal. That signal is low oxygen tension, precisely the condition found in working muscles, stressed tissues, or microvascular beds that need a boost. In these slightly oxygen-deprived environments, molecules in your blood called reductases readily convert nitrite into the gaseous signaling molecule we've been waiting for, nitric oxide. This is the body's brilliant workaround. As we age, our endogenous enzyme-driven production of nitric oxide from the lining of our blood vessels, the endothelium, becomes less efficient. This pathway, known as the nitrate-NO pathway, is a stunning backup system, a dietary rescue mechanism that bypasses the aging enzymatic machinery to deliver nitric oxide directly where it is most needed. And what does this nitric oxide do? It diffuses immediately into the smooth muscle cells that surround your arteries and arterioles, triggering a cascade that leads to relaxation. This vasodilation isn't a brute force event. It's a precise, localized release of tension within the vascular wall. The vessel widens, resistance drops, and blood flow increases, not with a turbulent surge, but with a smooth, efficient, pressurized delivery. This is the critical upgrade for down there function, because erectile tissue is essentially a specialized vascular bed. Its performance is entirely dependent on this exact capacity to rapidly engorge with blood upon a neurological signal. By flooding your system with the precursor nitrates each morning, you are essentially stocking the shelves, ensuring that when the call comes, the raw materials for vasodilation are abundant. The pathway is primed, and the response is swift, strong, and sustainable. This is not pharmacology. It is nutritional telemetry, using food to send a direct message to your circulatory system to open the gates and improve flow at the most fundamental cellular level. To understand why this targeted approach is so revolutionary, we must first dismantle a common misconception that erectile challenges are primarily a matter of hormones or psychology. While those elements play a role, the dominant factor, particularly for men over 60, is overwhelmingly vascular. The mechanism of an erection is, in essence, a hydraulic event orchestrated by the nervous system, but executed by the circulatory system. It requires a precise and rapid sequence of vascular changes. Upon arousal, the brain and local nerves send signals to the smooth muscles lining the arteries that feed the corpus cavernosum, the two spongy chambers that run the length of the penis. In a healthy, responsive system, these signals trigger the immediate release of nitric oxide from nerve endings and, crucially, from the endothelial cells that form the inner lining of the blood vessels themselves. This nitric oxide is the master key. It diffuses into the smooth muscle cells, activating a biochemical cascade that results in relaxation. As these muscles relax, the arteries dramatically dilate, allowing a surge of blood to flow in at arterial pressure. Simultaneously, the relaxed muscles of the corpus cavernosum permit the chambers to expand, accommodating this influx. As the chambers swell, they compress the tiny veins that normally drain blood away, creating a temporary but effective hydraulic lock. This is vascular physiology in its most elegant form: increased inflow, reduced outflow. The crisis of age is that this beautifully tuned system begins to falter, not because of a lack of desire, but because of a deficiency in infrastructure. The endothelium, that single layer of cells lining your entire vascular tree, becomes less efficient through oxidative stress, inflammation, and the simple wear and tear of time. It produces less nitric oxide on demand. Think of it like the aging electrical wiring in a house. The switch is flipped, but the signal is weaker, the response dimmer. The arteries themselves lose elasticity, becoming less able to dilate fully. The result is a diminished hemodynamic response. The blood flow is slower, the volume is less, the pressure is inadequate, and the locking mechanism is inefficient. This is why erectile dysfunction is often a potent early warning sign of broader cardiovascular disease. It's the same system, the same pipes, facing the same challenges. Now enter the strategic value of the morning nitrate. By flooding your system with dietary nitrates from leafy greens, you are providing an alternative, parallel pathway to generate the crucial nitric oxide. You are no longer solely reliant on the endothelial cell's declining ability to produce it enzymatically in the moment of need. Instead, you have created a circulating reservoir of nitrite, a ready-to-convert precursor that stands by in your bloodstream. When the neural signal for arousal occurs and oxygen levels in the engorging tissues naturally dip, this stored nitrite is rapidly converted into nitric oxide right at the site, supplementing and amplifying the body's own production. This is targeted delivery. It directly addresses the core deficiency. You are effectively providing vascular reinforcement precisely where and when it is most critically needed, enhancing the speed, volume, and efficiency of the engorgement process. You are not just supporting general health, you are strategically optimizing a specific, vital vascular function by ensuring its most important chemical mediator is abundantly available, bypassing the aged machinery to deliver the fuel directly to the engine. This turns a systemic nutritional intervention into a profoundly localized functional benefit, restoring the robust hydraulic performance that defines vitality and confidence. Gentlemen, this is not merely a conversation about food. It is a fundamental reconsideration of how we approach vitality in our later years. We have spent too long treating symptoms with solutions that are separate from our daily lives, often arriving too late to the root cause. The powerful shift we must make is toward foundational, proactive nourishment, seeing each meal and especially our morning ritual, as the most potent medical intervention we have at our disposal. This is about reclaiming agency. It is about understanding that the sophisticated biochemistry governing your confidence, your intimacy, and your zest for life is directly influenced by the compounds you choose to place on your plate. The path forward is not one of deprivation or complex regimens, but of strategic, delicious addition that speaks the native language of your own physiology. The compelling science we've outlined is undeniable. By consistently introducing nitrate-rich leafy greens at the start of your day, you are engaging a brilliant backup system, the nitrate-nitrite-nitric oxide pathway, that elegantly bypasses the aging endothelial machinery. You are stocking your circulatory system with the raw materials for vasodilation, ensuring that when your body calls for increased blood flow, whether for a brisk walk or for intimate function, response is swift, strong, and efficient. This is targeted vascular support. You are directly nourishing the very mechanism that dictates performance, combating the creeping stiffness and silent inflammation that dampen vitality. This single action simultaneously addresses systemic cardiovascular health and its most personal, tangible manifestation, proving that true wellness is integrated and inseparable. Therefore, let this be your paradigm shift. View that morning smoothie, that plate of eggs with sautéed greens, not as just breakfast, but as your daily biological tune-up. This practice is the cornerstone upon which all other healthy choices become more effective. It amplifies the benefits of your physical activity, synergizes with your weight management efforts, and works in concert with any guidance from your physician. This is the power of consistency, the profound compounding interest of daily investment in your vascular capital. The secret is not found in a remote clinic or a costly pill. It is cultivated in your kitchen, harnessed through simple, repeated action that steadily reprograms your body's capacity for life. So, I challenge you to start tomorrow. Do not await a crisis of confidence to take command of your physiology. Begin with a handful of spinach in your blender, a bundle of arugula on your plate. This is not a promise of overnight miracles, but a guarantee of scientifically sound influence. With every green, leafy bite, you are sending a direct message to your cells. Open, flow, thrive. You are not just eating for sustenance. You are eating for potency, for presence, and for a quality of life defined by active engagement. The power to enhance your flow, and thus your life, is literally in your hands. Seize it, savor it, and build upon it, one powerful morning at a time. Thank you truly for investing this time with me today. This conversation about foundational health isn't always an easy one to have, but it is among the most important. Your willingness to engage, to consider a new perspective on vitality, and to prioritize your well-being is the first and most powerful step. I hope this information has empowered you, not with a fleeting promise, but with a clear, actionable strategy rooted in your own biology. My greatest hope is that you walk away from this not just informed, but inspired to make that small, consistent change tomorrow morning. Your health is your most profound asset, and you hold more influence over it than you may realize. If this resonated with you, please share this knowledge with another man in your life who might benefit. Let's build a community focused on thriving, not just surviving. I encourage you to subscribe and join me here for more conversations where we cut through the confusion and focus on practical, evidence-based steps for living well at every age. Until next time, be kind to your body, nourish it deliberately, and remember, every powerful journey begins with a single, simple step. Take yours tomorrow morning. I'm rooting for you. Goodbye and take care.